Hi there, welcome to another Niggle Picks video. My name's Nigel. You find me right by the side of Hebden Bridge, which is the bridge which Hebden Bridge is named after. The history, it's part of the Halifax to Burnley packhorse route. It was originally Hepton Brigger was the town, because it was literally the bridge to Heptonstall. It was originally built in 1510, but then they had to repair it a couple of times in 1602 and 1657. We're going to try and find the stones which mark the two rebuilding, you know, the mending of them. But anyway, this is the start of our walk. We're going to go for a walk up Hebden Vale. Hebden Vale is full of old mills that have been demolished, don't exist anymore, etc, etc, and another packhorse bridge on the way and a few other bridges. Anyway, let's get on. Well, let's take a walk up and over the bridge. These are known as the Wavy Steps, and it floods if it's, well, rather when the river's high, if it's going over the top of here, you know it's going to flood the middle of Hebden Bridge. This is Bridgegate. That goes down to the centre of Hebden Bridge. White Swan, that's quite an old pub as well. Let's have a walk over the bridge. The bridge, like I say, it's part of the Halifax to Burnley packhorse route. And in front of us we can see up there, that is called the buttress, the cobbled road that goes up to Heptonstall. We won't walk up that today. And here on the right hand side, the building that we can see, that was a pub originally. It's now, I think, possibly offices and maybe, you know, all housing. It was called the Hole in the Wall. Try and put up a couple of old pictures of it. So yeah, like I said, that was the buttress, very steep. And here, believe it or not, there used to be some housing. Demolished sometime in the 1960s. Don't remember it myself, only being born in 61. Anyway, that's the buttress. This used to be the market. This has now moved to a place called Lee's Yard, which is about 400 or 500 yards away. Walking, sorry, still haven't got used to this gimbal. Walking over to this mill here. Sorry if it's a bit overexposed. This is Bridge Mill. Bridge Mill. And there's the Weir. Bridge Mill, as you can guess, having a weir, was at one time water powered, but as you can probably see, it does also have a chimney, which means it was steam powered. Bit of history about it. It was originally the manorial corn mill, built in 1314 by Sir John de Thornhill. In the 1320s it was rented by Stephen the Miller. In 1335 it was washed away in a flood, which, as you know, if you know anything about UK news, we've had quite a few of them recently as well. It was converted to a textile mill in about 1760. Oh, by the way, in front of me, if you can see that there, that is an Archimedes screw. It creates all the electricity for in the mill. For the cafe, there's a cafe at the bottom and a shop, etc. Anyway, back to the description. It still has a working water wheel. I will put a video in of the wheel in action. Past owners have included Champion Murgatroyd, Abraham Robertshaw, Greenwoods and Pickles, Greenwood and Sons, Richard Smith, and it's now owned by David Fletcher. It contains shops and other businesses, which are on 3 different floors. In the early 1900s, the ground floor was a smithy and a tripe shop. The water wheel powered the building until the 1950s, but also had steam power, as like I said, you can see by the chimney. This is the White Lion, along with Bridge Mill, Hebden Bridge Mill. They are 2 of the oldest existing buildings in Hebden Bridge. Now right next door to each other. That's the Shoulder of Mutton in the square, St George's Square. Yeah, the bridge that we were on previously was not the original bridge. Now, putting 2 and 2 together, the mill that we just visited as well, being called Bridge Mill, presuming, putting 2 and 2 together, it was actually where the original wooden bridge used to be. And we pay a little visit through the yard of the pub and the back of the mill to where the weir was again. So yeah, that's the weir. There's the mill again. It's in there. That's St George's Bridge. And here we have the Archimedes Screw working away, making electricity. When this building was put up, and we were digging the foundations for it, there were some wooden posts found. I put the pictures up of that, and I think it holds credence to my theory that possibly this is exactly where the original wooden bridge went across. The Packhorse route runs up. Sorry, that gimbal. See the school there? Runs up by the side of the school there. So putting like I say, 2 and 2 together, I think that's where it used to be. We'll continue onwards past the White Lion again, up onto Keighley Road. Just there is our next mill. That's Nutclough Mill. One of the biggest mills in Hebden Bridge. It was originally built in around 1791 and is powered by, or was powered by, a water wheel using water from Ebert Clough. Now Ebert Clough runs up towards Old Town and Peckett Well. I'll show you where it is, just round the back. It was fed, and there's a culvert underneath that runs back out into Hebden Water. In 1870, a group of fustian cutters set up a self-employment workshop in a room on Crown Street in Hebden Bridge, and eventually bought this, which was then a 3-storey mill. The owners have included James Mallier and Pratt, James Haig, and most recently the world famous Colrec Audio Limited, who supplied mixing desks etc. for the likes of BBC TV and BBC Radio. The row of houses just passing by were houses built for workers at Nutcliff Mill. Pretty sure it's called Nutcliff Terrace. If not, I'll put what it is called down below. That is Ebert Clough. We'll nip across and have a look at the dam. This is the dam on Ebert Clough that fed the mill down at Nutcliff. You can see it's very silted up now. I've just been told by a lady that a kingfisher is quite regularly seen up here. And this place is absolutely beautiful in the summer and spring. Going back down onto Keighley Road. And just a quick aside. That building there, sorry, was the Nutcliff House. And the building immediately to our right, as you can see, that was the Nutcliff Tavern. Just turning right off Keighley Road, and this is Foster Lane. A little bit later in the video we're going to be going to the end of Foster Lane to Foster Mill. In the meantime, we'll have a look at the back of Nutcliff Mill. This is the rear of Nutcliff Mill. A bit overexposed, I think. There we go. Underexposed, sorry. That's the back of Nutcliff Mill and Nutcliff Terrace. You can see here we are still Nutcliff Mill, and you can see they've still got lots of the cobbles. That's where we're going next, just over there to that place. That's Hanging Ryde Mill, or the site where it used to be. That was Nutcliff Mill. Just down here, you can see Hebden Water. Turn round. Just here, where this road is, used to be Hanging Ryde Mill. Get to focus in the right place, get some, yeah, that's better. And it is now called Waterside Fold. Hanging Ryde Mill. The original name of the mill was Hangdan Ryde Mill. It was referenced in a deed in 1314, so possibly if it was still standing this would have been one, you know, very much the oldest building in Hebden Bridge. It was rented by Ralph Milner at a cost of 6 shillings and 8 pence. In 1773, the then owner William Cockcroft left the mill, cottages, gardens, meadows, dams, goits and weirs to his daughter Barbara. Right, back up onto Foster Lane now. Up this very steep road. Just here on this corner, there used to be a chapel, Foster Lane Chapel. Pictures to be applied. And down here, either side of this road, was Foster Mill. Got some good pictures of that one. There used to be a bridge, went from one side to the other. At the end you can see just about, I think, the Packhorse Bridge. Foster Mill. It was originally a corn mill and fulling mill in the 17th century, converted to worsted spinning in approximately 1808, driven by a water wheel 36 foot high, 14 foot 6 inches wide. It suffered 3 devastating fires in 1828, 1853 and 1888. It was rebuilt in 1888 by Redmond brothers. Owners include Henry Ramsbottom, William Holmes and brothers, Benjamin Crook, Dyson Mallinson, Redmonds Limited, Joseph Crowther, Joseph Hodgson, Ashworth Brothers and William Harwood and Sons. And here we are at Foster Mill Bridge, second Packhorse Bridge of the day. This bridge served Foster Mill. It allowed it to get its goods, its cotton goods, up to Hebden Stall and Hebden Stall's cloth hall. The cloth hall at Hebden Stall predates the hall, the Peace Hall in Halifax. Here we are again on the Hebden Water. Looking back through what used to be Foster Mill. We'll go across and we're going to go to Salem Fields now. Or rather Salem Field. The home of, the sign says, Hebden Bridge Cricket Club and the White Rose Archery Club. Salem field and walk along on here by the side of Hebden Water again. Don't know if you can see the line. There's a flat line, in fact there looks to be a couple of them, but the top one, that one that cuts across there, that is the edge of a dam that would have fed Foster Mill, which was just back there over by the mill. Sorry about the darkness possibly on the screen. The mill was there, and that was, like I said, that was the dam. We're going to see the Leat and the Weir for that in a bit. Anyway, onwards. Shortly we're going to be crossing over the river to the other bank. Nice little footbridge here. We're pretty close to the site of Lee Mill. There were actually two mills, but I'll tell you about that in the description later. I'm going to go across there now, so we'll get to see the Leat for sorry about the urns. Yes, the Leat for Foster Mill. Here we go. This is the Leat for Foster Mill. Runs down there. We'll do a little walk down here. It's the other direction we have to go to get to Lee Mill. But you can see, just there, look. That's the Leat. Runs right alongside the river. There's a path runs down here, and at the far end is the dam. Oh, go on, let's have a walk down to the other end where the dam is. Just here is where the top part of the Leat opens out into the first dam. A couple of children playing in it, so I'll keep my camera away from them. You can see, yeah, it's quite wide here. This footpath, well used one, right by the side of the river, or Hebden Water. Back by the footbridge again, continue on the journey. Just up there is the Weir. Now it's actually directly below where part of Lee Mill is, I think it is. But it is actually the one for Foster Mill lower down, where we've just been. Fantastic sound. Oh, we've got a mink at the other side. Just about there. I don't know whether you can see it. Just zoom in a bit. Gone. Went under a rock, I think. Definitely a mink though. Coming up now onto the Lee Mill Road area. That's the road just there. That runs back up and onto Keighley Road, which we were on much earlier in the video. And down here these houses, I believe, sit on the site of where Lee Mill was. Got a few pictures to put up. I don't think there's any, examples of whatever. This is where the Weir was. I'll go to the other side because I've just spotted something. See down at the bottom there, rather large pipe coming out of the wall. So I'm presuming that was the wall of the mill, or the surround of the mill. Going back along the road a little bit, I believe there's some steps go up onto Midgehole Road, or as the locals call it, Midgoyle. Right, yeah, I think I can see the entrance to it. I have to go up that way because there is no way to get through other than that. And that's where we're going up. Wow, that's a lot of steps. Anyway, catch a breathless me when I get back to the top. Anyway, here we are at Row Home onto Midgoyle Road. Just here, that is Rose Cottage, and down at the bottom there, the row of houses is called Lower Mill. Now, here at the side of the mill, sorry, the houses, was where the mill was. Got a few more pictures of the likes of that. Sorry if you can hear that noise in the background. It's gas workers. Go back to this view. I'll overlay a picture of a group of workers on a hay cart. The lady stood on the back with the fork in her hand was my great grandma, Sarah Jane Wild, who worked at the mill, which was the other side of the road, up there, sorry, there, did it again, behind that house there, and that was Crimsworth Dye Works. I'm going to have a look at that right now. There's evidence for a mill existing in this area in the 15th century. The Weir mill was built in the 1790s and was used for fulling and flax. In 1861, J and J Worrells of Salford bought the Midgoyle estate. Worrells brought fustian cutters and dyers with them from Manchester, including my ancestors, the Wild family. This was the first place in the area to take fustian manufacture from the small in-home production to factory machine-based production. Looking across the field of sheep, the field where the hayrick was, look just there, so there, you can actually see remains of the mill. Like I say, the row of houses was called Lower Mill, and the mill was Lower Mill as well. I think somewhere over there was a dam, probably that flat area you can see, round about there. Anyway, we're going down that way, so I'm going to go down past Lower Mill, see if we can get any closer to those ruins. There you go, leading to Lower Mill. Lower Mill. I think the dam might have been there. So the water's got to have been somewhere up there. So maybe it came down from the upper mill. But don't actually know. Anyway, let me see if I can go on here. I don't think there's anybody living at the far end. Even though my dad was born down here, way back in 1933, he's no longer with us, but he was born at one of these houses. There, that's obviously part of the mill. Just there, and that's where the hayrick was, somewhere up there. Like I say, we're here at Lower Mill. This is where it stood, and it ran along here and up to the river, which is the other side of that little wall just there. So yes, this is Lower Mill. Yeah, see, that's the remains of the mill. Leaving Lower Mill, we don't go back up past Rose Cottage. We're going through where the arrows are, just there. That takes us back over to the other side of the river. There's a small footbridge, and then we can go on towards our last mill, which is New Bridge Mill. See, there's a footpath there, somebody coming along it, and a footbridge over the river. I've been looking on some old maps, and across there, the other side, in that area, you can see there's a brick and stone wall at the bottom, but it's marked up as tanks. Now, whether it was tanks for holding the water that had come out of the dye works, which is the Queenswest Dye Works at the top, or the upper mill. So yeah, that area just there, all that from, you know, the bit where the trees are, just there. So I don't know, holding tanks maybe. Just up ahead, the white building you can see in the distance. That's a famous place, and probably infamous place. That's the Blue Pig, or Midge Hall Working Men's Club. And just there to the side, in front, see through the river, through the trees, is a weir. That's the weir I was talking about earlier, and like I say, I don't actually know what that fed. If you know, please put it in the comments. Yeah, here's the weir outside the front of the Blue Pig, which, like I say, I don't know what it fed. You can see metalwork at the other side and stonework, and it does actually run down towards Lower Mill, so maybe it did actually send the water down to Lower Mill. Maybe I'll find out. If I do, I'll put something on screen. But yeah, here's the Blue Pig. I don't know if you can see on the bit that sticks out where the blue steps are to the right, right on the roof, is a little Blue Pig. Well, that was the Blue Pig, and we're going to go out of the car park, and just at the end of this little bit of road was New Bridge Mill, as with the other photos supplied. As you can guess, this is New Bridge to the right, and the mill is here, just there, behind the, looks like a boat with a green tarpaulin. You can see there, that's an outcrop of stone and bricks, and that is where the water came in for the wheel. Sorry, that's better. That was where the wheel pit was. You can actually see the remains of the wheel pit. Not sure whether I should be going in there, but no signs here. There's one further on, but you can just see there. There's a couple of walls. One there, sorry, one there, and one there. That is the wheel pit. I'm going to go up there. You can actually look down on it. Carry on up this path further than we're going. You can actually get up onto Leewood Road and then up to Hepton Stall. Here we are. If you look along there, that's the Leet going off into the distance. Goes up that way out into the woods. Just here is the edge of where the water would have dropped into the wheel. This is the wheel pit. Newbridge Mill was described in 1791 as being stone built and slated and had water frames for spinning cotton twist. Many children were employed here, of which one later said, "I worked 13 to 14 hours a day and was treated like a dog by both master and overlooker." In the early years it was used for fustian production. In the 1890s part of the building was put over to dyeing and finishing, and the other part was a refreshment rooms owned by Wood and Sutcliffe, which then later became Lello's Tea Rooms. The water for the wheel was supplied by a dam called Keppit or Keep It Home. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where the water went out back into the river. And if we pan up and round, quite obviously a wheel pit. Well, there you go, that was my video, the mills of Hebden Valley. Nice walk along Hebden Water. Please, if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the thumbs up. And if you really like it, it doesn't cost you anything, but it means a great deal to me if you subscribe to my channel. Many, many thanks. See you on the next one.